know, spring is not far away. We're gearing up for our third season at the Hempery. We take our hemp stuff and we've created with my partner and I Fifth Meridian Hemp. You can find our products online. You can find most of our products at 2 Pharmacy, and you can always email me directly. Let me tell you a little bit about what we got. We got hemp seeds, we got hemp coffee, we've got 2 kinds of protein. All of our products are sustainably grown and locally grown. We also have products that are strategically designed for zombie apocalypse, so they can store for months and even years. And they're $15 each or 3 for $40, so good value. Feel free to contact me to stock up if that's something you're interested in. We also have some other exciting products. Hemp hydrosol, it's a digestive tonic, super cool, one of our most powerful products. It's available at 2 Pharmacy, 35 or 60 for the big one. And our zombie apocalypse COVID-19 friendly product we've just created, Silver Hemp. It's a surface and hand cleaner designed specifically for when you go out in public to keep you COVID free. Sending you love and namaste. Hey guys, Luke here. Just wanted to share with you a little bit about myself, things I get up to when I'm not in the studio. I'm a hemp farmer going into my 3rd year. We started the new Paradigm Hempery in the Water Valley area 2 years ago. So if you're ever looking to get out of the city or out of town onto the land, assuming we can do volunteering and touch each other and see each other, send me an email, let me know. Spring is not far away. We're gearing up for our 3rd season at the Hempery. We take our hemp stuff and we've created with my partner and I Fifth Meridian Hemp. You can find our products online. You can find most of our products at 2 Pharmacy, and you can always email me directly. Let me tell you a little bit about what we got. We got hemp seeds, we got hemp coffee, we've got 2 kinds of protein. All of our products are sustainably grown and locally grown. We also have products that are strategically designed for zombie apocalypse, so they can store for months and even years. And they're $15 each or 3 for $40, so good value. Feel free to contact me to stock up if that's something you're interested in. We also have some other exciting products. Hemp hydrosol, it's a digestive tonic, super cool, one of our most powerful products. It's available at 2 Pharmacy, 35 or 60 for the big one. And our zombie apocalypse COVID-19 friendly product we've just created, Silver Hemp. It's a surface and hand cleaner designed specifically for when you go out in public to keep you COVID free. Sending you love and namaste. Hey guys, Luke here. Just wanted to share with you a little bit about myself, things I get up to when I'm not in the studio. I'm a hemp farmer going into my 3rd year. We started the new Paradigm Hempery in the Water Valley area 2 years ago. So if you're ever looking to get out of the city or out of town onto the land, assuming we can do volunteering and touch each other and see each other, send me an email, let me know. Spring is not far away. We're gearing up for our 3rd season at the Hempery. We take our hemp stuff and we've created with my partner and I Fifth Meridian Hemp. You can find our products online. You can find most of our products at 2 Pharmacy, and you can always email me directly. Let me tell you a little bit about what we got. We got hemp seeds, we got hemp coffee, we've got 2 kinds of protein. All of our products are sustainably grown and locally grown. We also have products that are strategically designed for zombie apocalypse, so they can store for months and even years. And they're $15 each or 3 for $40, so good value. Feel free to contact me to stock up if that's something you're interested in. We also have some other exciting products. Hemp hydrosol, it's a digestive tonic, super cool, one of our most powerful products. It's available at 2 Pharmacy, 35 or 60 for the big one. And our zombie apocalypse COVID-19 friendly product we've just created, Silver Hemp. It's a surface and hand cleaner designed specifically for when you go out in public to keep you COVID free. Sending you love and namaste. Hey guys, Luke here. Just wanted to share with you a little bit about myself, things I get up to when I'm not in the studio. I'm a hemp farmer going into my 3rd year. We started the new Paradigm Hempery in the Water Valley area 2 years ago. So if you're ever looking to get out of the city or out of town onto the land, assuming we can do volunteering and touch each other and see each other, send me an email, let me know. Spring is not far away. We're gearing up for our 3rd season at the Hempery. We take our hemp stuff and we've created with my partner and I Fifth Meridian Hemp. You can find our products online. You can find most of our products at 2 Pharmacy, and you can always Thank you for joining me this evening, or if you're watching it at a later time, an afternoon or whenever it is. Inviting you, before we get started, to create both a physical space with your mat and props and the door closed, whatever you need, as well as that non-physical space for the practice. We're going to start with a mini meditation in Sukhasana or your favorite meditation pose. So if you have a child's pose that you really need, or a Shavasana, although we are moving into a Vinyasa flow, which is kind of a medium heat, if you will. So a more active sitting, kneeling pose might be better. It's your practice. Honor it wherever you are. Find the breath. Find your Sukhasana. I'm joining you there. And there's space for the practice today on all levels. Let's start by finding the breath. That is the spirit moving through you. Join me for 3 big, long, deep breaths. 2 more. Even bigger. And just soften the breath back wherever it goes for you. Let the eyelids be heavy. Let the spine be long and tall. Find that seated meditative pose. And today we're going to speak to the throat chakra. The throat chakra has 2 functions. It's an open door on both sides. It's truth on one side, and it's listening on the other side. So it includes both. So it's not just the throat, it's also the ears in the more physical sense. Let's just bring the awareness to the throat. Bring into the mind's eye one of your greatest truths. What is something you really believe in or stand behind? Maybe you're into family or love, or we're all spirits incarnate, or something like this. What truth do you have? Good. Let's reach out for 2 breaths, that truth. Sending it on the exhale. So inhale up to the throat and the ears. Send it out. 1 more, sharing that truth. Bring into the mind's eye another truth view that's totally love-based and love-centered. This truth is founded on love, coded in it. Maybe it even is that you are love. Maybe that's part of your truth. Holding on to that, feeling that in the mind's eye, and then just noticing where that goes in your body. Where does that truth resonate from? Is it from the kidneys or the liver, from the toes or your nose? Let's send 2 breaths from there, coded in love, sending out your truth, breathing to that spot. Sending it out to all the humans, animals, and plants. 1 more like that. Let it wrap around the world as you exhale. Coming back, filling yourself up, just steep in that truth for 2 more breaths. Acknowledge the intertwining between the truth and the love. Inviting the hands together in front of the heart, maybe sitting up a little taller, tucking the chin in slightly. Why are you here today, this evening, this afternoon? Breathe that in as you inhale. Send it to the body as you exhale. 1 more. Breathe it in. What's that intention for your practice? Let every body part know. Every cell, good. And this is where we come into the mat, into the body. We spend most of our time in the asana practice, which is the moving through the meditative poses, the yoga poses. Because as you know, yoga is far more than just downward facing dog. But we're going to do a few downward facing dogs as part of the practice today. Let's start in all 4s. Find your stacked wrists under shoulders. Close your eyes, and as I'm doing, start to move. Just remembering as we go through our short hour together today, do more as I say than as I do. And if you don't have the volume on, well, that'll be a little more difficult to do. I'm going to do most of the practice with you. I always do, but I don't do everything. It's sometimes better for me not to have myself be upside down or be on my 18th chaturanga in a row, although we're not going to do that many. Let's find 2 big cat-cows rooted into the tops of the feet or your toes. Here we go. Open that front body. Exhale, reverse. And the vinyasa flow practice, we move with the breath. So we're often expanding on inhales and contracting or twisting on exhales. Let's take one more big cat-cow breath. Be dramatic. Good. Let's bring all 10 toes onto the mat if they're not already. Make sure the wrists are stacked. We're going to hover the knees. So we push into strong stacked arms and we draw from the tailbone up. Engage the core. Push into the earth with your toes in your hands and let the knees come up. And just notice what happens. Soften your forehead. Soften your face. Soften your neck. Take one more breath there. Good. Let the knees come down. Good. Let's pat out the feet. Let's play with the tripod. So the nice thing about the tripod, and we're just going to hold for 2 breaths here. If you want to take the opposite arm forward, you can do that too. Every pose has a modification. The modification would be to keep the arm down. If you wanted to get a little more up into something exciting, you could come up on the fingertips. So now I'm adding some strengthening to the hand. Down. We're just going to go to the second side. So I'm back to 4 points of strength. Tripod of strength. Maybe 2 points of strength. Maybe moving to the fingertips. And you could also bring the toes on and draw the knee off. I'm not going to demo that one. Bring it down. Let's do 1 big tiger curl each side. Inhale, reach. So it's the same movement. It's just more active. Let's ground. Second side. Reach. Let's do 1 more each side. Reach further this time. And we reach on the inhale. We curl to the heart on the exhale. And then we ground. Last one. Here we go. Move with the breath. And down. Big cat-cow. Watch that all the way. It's a rinsing breath. Good. Here we go. Dog pose. Come on to the toes. Find your hands where you like them. Push into the hands. And do a little dance. While you're doing a dancing, walking, shaking your bum kind of downward dog that's opening up all sorts of things, I'm going to demo child's pose, which is our option if you ever need to say no to a chaturanga or say no to a child's pose or a dog pose. You come to child's pose. Joining you back in dog pose. Take a moment to soften into a solid dog pose breath. And then find the top of the mat, which starts with gazing. And then maybe taking a big step or a bunch of small steps. Push into parallel feet. Open the heart and find the top of your mat as you exhale. I'm just going to turn to face you. Here we go. 3 big swan dives. Big toes together or more hip distance like me, whatever you like. It's your swan dive. Inhale, reach. Expand. Exhale, fold. 2 more. Move with your breath. Good. I'm being a little vocal with my exhales. You don't need to do that. But you can if you want. Last one. Invite some back bend. Open up that upper chest. Exhale. Draw the belly in a little higher. Create space for the body literally to fold. We're going into ragdoll, which has lots of variations. This is where we get to see how much dirt you have in your toenails from walking outside barefoot, I hope. Or maybe your tail nail, the polish or whatever you have there. Noticing where the polish might need to be touched up. One more breath. Find center. And then we roll up slowly. We do that by anchoring into the feet and allowing the energy to come up and then extend equally through us as a mountain. Here we go. Sun salutation. Some of us will be doing 108 of them on the solstice coming up. We're going to just start with 1 for now. Here we go. Inhale, reach. Exhale, dive and fold. Half lift on the inhale. Sit bones away from crown. Exhale, fold to plank. Step there or jump there, whatever gets you there. I'm going to scoot back here. Lower on the exhale. That's a chaturanga. And then we come onto the tops of the feet. Maybe we're even onto the chest like this for a cobra, and then dog pose. I workshopped that a little bit, but find a deeper dog pose and always move with your breath. If I'm slowing or I'm talking, I'll meet you there. All roads lead to dog pose. If they don't lead to dog pose, they'll lead somewhere else you know. Good. Let's find the top of the mat. We're going to do a super sun. So I'm stepping with my other foot. No, I'm not. I did 2 left foots. I'm trying to find balance, pushing through the feet coming up. And the super sun salutation, if you don't know it, most of you probably do know it, is just a charged version. That is, power poses have been added, a little diversity has been added. Chair pose, here we go. Inhale, reach. Arms can stay up or they can come down. But the bum comes into that imaginary chair. I'm trying to sit down into it. I'm trying not to fold into the chair. I'm sitting into the chair. My weight's in the heels. I'm grounded. My chest should be staying open. My arms are wherever. One more breath. Straighten on that next inhale. Fold on the exhale. Find your way to plank. Half lift. Folding to plank. Jump there. Step there. And we're going to go side plank. So we stay strong in our plank. Bum not hanging. Not sagging. And then we roll to the right side. I'm long. My arm can be up. I was just grabbing my hip here. Do the same on the second side. Whatever you like. You can add fancy leg moves. I'm strong and I'm trying not to move my bum too high. I'm staying in that plank. Here we go. Dog pose. Lower on the exhale. To dog pose we go. Back bend. And maybe push to the knees or go straight to dog pose. That's the mod. And remember, child's pose is an option as well. Let's go to dolphin pose. So from here, you can come down onto the knees and then the forearms, or go straight to the forearms. Dolphin pose, we're pushing to the forearms. We're walking the toes in. The bum's high. The toes are light. The forearms are heavy. Good, let's go back to dog pose. So again, you can come to the knees, hands, dog pose, or go straight. Good, let's take the left leg up on an inhale. Step it through, so I'm drawing it into my chest, coming forward for a big step. And if I'm back here, I help it. I push into the feet, I square up, I melt a little bit into the pelvis. I straighten out that back leg. And I'm preparing for warrior 3, chest are down the back, shoulders down the back, chest is open. And maybe just floating one movement. And I'm again not trying to have earrings. Lots of arm variations. Might be too early for a back bend. And then here we go. We're going to flow back to dog pose. Inhale, step way back. I'm going to skip the vinyasa. Exhale, find your way through a vinyasa back to dog pose. Or skip the vinyasa and go straight to dog pose. Or drop into child's pose, take a nap, and meet us back in dog pose. Whatever you need. Here we go. Right leg up. Step it through. Oh, it didn't get there. Help it get there. Square up. Come. Sitting down. Tucking. To be long. To fly. And you can take steps. My balance is not too bad today. So I'm able to kind of step up. I got to keep long in my back body, and I'm not staying too long. Let's keep flowing. Inhale, step way back. I'll come with you for this one. Exhale, flow. Maybe float the foot. Back bend. All roads lead to dog pose, and we're going to come back into dolphin. Find another one. Meet me here. Good. High bum. Dog pose. Straight up or through all fours. Top of the mat. Step there. Float there. Jump there. Push to the feet. Coming all the way up. We're going to do some eagle. Okay? So find your strong mountaintop. Inhale out the arms. Introducing the eagle arms as you close the exhale. Let's go right over left. So I'm going past with the elbows as much as I can, and then back to the palms. And if I'm really sagging and I can't grab that thumb, it's just too far, the palm's too far, I open my elbows and I go for the self-hug, and I slowly over time move my hands down until they're twisted and back. Add the foot. Or add it another day. Here we go. Elbows up, bum down. And I'm going to workshop the hands. So sit down into your pose. And notice what I'm doing here is I'm going up and out. That's what's important to the opening of my shoulders. Take one more breath wherever you are. Good. On the exhale, ground into that standing foot and open. Good. Let's do a dive fold together. Big inhale. Wash it away and fold. Do a little ragdoll. Get rid of that first side. Forget what side it was. Notice where it's tight in the sides or the backs of the legs. Good. Let's roll up. Strong rooted feet. Second side, left under right. But we inhale them out to open that chest, and then we twist it all up. Good. Or no, that's right over left. This one's feeling like my other side. Should be able to feel the difference in the body. Here we go. Elbows up, bum down. Add the leg. The hot 26s and some of the Bikrams and yogas and stuff of other modalities do this step back sit thing. You can also sit and then curl. That's how I actually learned it. Here we go. Inhale, open. Exhale, dive and fold. Keep flowing. Half lift. That's right. All roads lead to dog pose. Exhale, fold. Step or jump back. Lower chaturanga. Remember, as you lower, the elbows stay beside the body. Don't wing them out and lead with the chest. Back bend, tops of the feet, push. Upper chest expands. Find dog pose. I'll direct you from there. We're going to go for crow pose. So slowly walk your hands towards your feet. Stay low. Keep the bum high, but the heart low so we can move that weight into those hands. Here we go, crow pose. So I'm shoulder distance, wide fingers. I'm slightly drawing in. And notice I'm not low in my bum. I'm high in my bum, so my elbows can be the stack. My triceps can be the stack. Maybe I'll just come here, take a little weight, call it a day. Or maybe I'll bring my foot off, or both feet. And if I come up, I should draw my bum up a little more. And then when it's time to come down, I'm making sure my heels land. So don't be in here like this. Be wider. And here's the part where you got to trust. Oh, for the tight hip people in the world, that's where we are. Add some movement. Whatever you need. Take another breath. We're going to do one more crow, okay? So on the inhale, straighten everything. We want close feet so the bum can stay high. Hands. Back. Float. And then come into your yogi squat with the heels down. And add some movement. Close the eyes. I'm grabbing my heels. Maybe grabbing the feet. Maybe doing some of these. Take one more breath. Joining you at the back of the mat. Then on the next inhale, find center and straighten. Keep your feet as wide as your mat and then fold. So we're doing a wide-legged forward fold. And just notice how that feels. Good. Take one more breath, and then we're going to walk the fingertips around the left foot. It's the tight side, maybe. Good. Come to center. Let's go to the other side. Half lift, wash it away. Exhale, fold, ground the hands, walk them back to dog pose. I'll meet you at the top of the mat, but take a breath in dog pose. Be present. Open that chest, reach it for the toes. Good. And then find the top of the mat. I'll meet you there. Step there, jump there, float there, push through feet. Finding that grounded Tadasana at the top of the mat. Good. We're going to go wide legs from here. So ground into the left foot and take a huge step with the right. Big dive fold. So we did the kind of wide one. Now we're doing the wider one. Here you go. Exhale, fold. There's so many varieties. You can interlace your hands behind your back. You can ground your crown or forearms or fists or something into the floor. You can reach through your legs that way. You can even reach
the bum back and reach the fingers forward for a little shoulder armpit opening. I'm anchoring my bum back. There's so many options. I can add a little twist. It's endless. One more breath. We're going to go to warrior 2 from here. So when you're ready, hands to waist. Push down. Oh, the universe is telling me we need some Trikonasana first. We'll do both. Here we go. Trikonasana. So notice as I point my left foot forward, I draw my right hip away, straightening-ish out that leg. I just did a little adjustment, so now I'm more perpendicular. I'm not too wide. I'm feeling a little wide. I'm going to shorten up a bit there. Hips out. Here we go. I open my side body. I'm flat. I'm not twisting like warrior 1. Inhale, reaching forward. Exhale, side twist or side folding. And if you have a block, you can put it on either side of the foot. You can also put some pressure on the leg. Or you've even seen this one. You can bind. There's lots of versions of Trikonasana. One more breath wherever you are. Good. And it's the core that brings me up. We're going to go straight to the second side. So I'm tucking in the left, pointing out the right, and drawing that hip, but opening. I'm facing sideways with my opening. Inhale over the right leg, side fold. And I'm keeping that open lungs, that open hips, that open belly. And I'm using whatever prop or support I had on the first side. Good. Now we're going to do some warrior 2. So let's come up and we're going to just revert back. So that right foot comes in and we go back to perpendicular, but we need to go wider for warrior 2. So take a foot back or forward. See, I'm dropping my pelvis down and then I'm dropping into where my hips are pretty much in line with my knee. I draw the right one back. I'm twisting and opening. And even more than Trikonasana, I'm open. Just the gaze is over the left arm. Here we go. Let's go up on an inhale and then sit back into a reclined warrior. I'm sitting into the pelvis. Don't let this happen. It can try. Sit down and reach up. Opening, opening, opening. Good. I'm going to come out and we're just going to go to the next side. So I'm switching feet, dropping back in, trusting as I open my pelvis. Like tree pose, I should feel it through my belly. My arms tell the world that's where I'm at. The legs first, arms second. Okay, here we go. Up on the inhale. And I sit down as I reach up, creating that length. Take 2 breaths here. B. Good, let's come out of it. Your favorite inversion for 12 breaths. Parallel feet. Inhale, go up. Exhale, fold to your favorite inversion. If you don't want to invert today, just do a forward fold. One of the million varieties will do just fine. If you're new to your inversions, I'm going to quickly workshop tripod head stand, which is your gateway to the inversion land. Shoulder stand not included. Tripod, number 1. My hands are pushing down. And they're not in a line. They're in a triangle with my head. I walk my bum in. I come off. And then I draw my bum up a little bit. And look, my knees come up and I'm inverted. All the fancy moves go from there. Take another breath. Slowly come down. If you're new to inversions, it's recommended a few breaths of child's pose before moving on. Take another breath, come down. My folding friends, come up. I'm going to meet you in wide-legged, getting ready for goddess pose. Here we go. So we just bring the feet in. It's just a chair pose. It's disguised in divinity. It's divine, but it's just chair pose with wide legs. Sitting. Close your eyes. Bring some more truth into your mind's eye. What do you stand for? What are you about? What's the journey you're on that's unique to you? Steep in that for one more breath. And then on the next inhale, straighten everything. Take the legs super wide. And then fold. And I'm going to call this the wide-legged ragdoll now. You can lunge from side to side. That's how we do it in class sometimes. But I personally like a little more of the ragdolly. Do whatever you need. This is one of those moments in our practice together where your home practice, that is to say, what your body needs right now in this moment, is the thing. And as you're ready, find center. Hands to the waist. Push down with the hands and feet. Heavy in the left foot, so we're coming back to the top of the mat. Take a big step or take a couple steps. Whatever you need. Find the top of the mat. We're going to do a sun salutation, and I'm inviting you to close your eyes. I'm going to walk you through it. I'm going to talk you through it. I'm not going to walk you anywhere, but I'm not going to flow with you. It starts from Tadasana at the top of the mat, so if you've strayed, go there, close your eyes. You know this sequence. We've done a couple of them already today. Let the breath guide the movement of the body. Here we go. Step 1. Inhale and reach long. Fold on the exhale. Long spine as you inhale. Half lift. Sit bones away from crown. Exhale, folding to plank. Step there or jump there. Remember the chaturanga has that lowering which the chest leads. The body's in a plank. You can use your knees if you need. Come onto the tops of the feet for your back bend. Open your chest. Shine your heart. Dog pose. Push. Push into the hands. Come back onto the toes. And adjust down into dog pose. Good. Let's take the right leg up. And let's hold it there for 2 breaths. And then step it through for the lunge. I'll meet you there. Good. Let's switch hands. Let's take that right foot further out. Let's take it even further up. That's right. Lizard pose, we call this. You can drop the knee. I think it's called dragon when you drop the knee. Both reptiles. We'll call it reptile pose. Whatever variation you're in, find your reptile pose and invite some movement. I'm not moving too much, but maybe you're doing some circles. Maybe you're doing some side to side. Maybe it feels good to push. Blocks are our friends. Maybe I'm using some blocks to bring me up. Or maybe I'm on my back knee and I'm surrendering down into the block. Let's find a more sleeping version of the pose. Inviting you maybe to bring your back knee down like I have. Maybe even come onto the tops of the foot. You can even take that foot out a little more. Some of you are going to be bendier than me. Come down onto the blocks. What do you need? Surrender to the pose. Invite some opening into the hips. Let's move our blocks. We're going back to dog pose. So we need that tripod again. Strong hands. You can leave the foot on the outside or you can bring it back in first. Ground your back foot. There's the tripod. Dog pose. And shake it all about. Move the hips around. Give that leg a kick, a shake. It's kind of a sticky hip pose. This is we're not doing pigeon today. We're doing reptile pose today. But it's the same kind of thing. It's just getting into a slightly different spot. Here we go. Second side. Take the left foot up. Maybe leave it there an extra breath. And then step it through. Remember to bring the knee into the heart to get the full step. And help it if it doesn't get there. Switch the foot. Take it forward more. And invite some movement that's medicine. And if you need to drop the back knee, that's fine. Play with that. What does the back knee invite? What do you need? Staying active for one more breath. Maybe dancing around a little bit in the hip space. And then blocks recommended. Always a friend. Find a sleeping version. And often why we use blocks in sleeping versions of poses like this or swan or pigeon is it takes pressure off holding the neck and upper back. We can actually surrender that place. We often hold a lot of tension there if we're not fully submitted. Good. Going back to dog pose. Find your tripod. Maybe bringing the left foot in the middle. I prefer that. Grounding the foot and pushing back. And shake that off. We want to make room for our last dolphin pose. If you have a fancy pincha at home or want to work your way to pincha, you kick the legs one at a time. Get used to putting more weight, which eventually becomes all the weight on the forearms. Through the knees or just drop down so we can take the leg up. I'm not feeling a pincha today myself, so I'm going to just focus on a nice dolphin. Where are you at? Good. From here, we're going to actually go to all fours. So bring the knees down. Come up onto the hands. Take a breath of cat-cow. Wash that dolphin away. Make dolphin noises if you really want to. And we're going to go back to our tripod. We're going to do just a modified half moon. Big fan of half moon because it's a nice strengthening pose. Here we go. Tripod, right leg back. And it's also a balance pose. And this modified version is really great because you can really master side stacking the body because the balance is a little less because we're on the foot. And if this is too easy for you, add a bind or float your left foot off the floor. Take another breath here. And then transition, put a cat-cow in the middle to the second side. Wash it away. Tuck that tail on the exhale. Really arch that spine as you pull it up. Good. Tripod. I'm flipping around. Stacking. And we stack the hip first, and then the upper body just wants to come. It's actually easier for the body to be fully side stacked. Nice and strong, reaching out through the heel, adding on whatever you need. The modification would be to keep the back leg down. Every pose has a modification or a pose to do instead. Here we go back to cat-cow, which starts with all fours. Big one. It's probably our last one for today. Good. And here we go, our last dog pose as well. So come onto those feet. Find your way into dog pose. And here we are, fortunate enough to be a little deeper into the practice, so the dog pose should get to its deepest point. Put a little more pressure into the L of the hand. Take the sit bones back further. Melt the heart closer to the toes than ever before. Maybe even shortening the stance half an inch. But the goal is not to have the shortest stance ever. You just might be able to sneak a half inch out of, maybe straighten the legs a little more. Good, and we're going to do a sit through to Navasana. They do this a lot in the Ashtanga practice. So we gaze to the hands, and we want to jump through, in a perfect world, all the way onto the back of the bum. You can also take your hands a little wider. Some people like to do that. Create a little more space because we're going through there. Here we go. So we leap. Not so good. Right onto the back of the bum. Watch out for anything that might be impending that. Find your Navasana. So we're not on the middle of the bum. We're on that back half. We're drawing up our modifications to hold behind the knees. But most of us can find either flat legs here or even straighter legs. Pinkies reaching forward, chest open. 2 more breaths in your Navasana. And then we're going straight into our next pose. So we bring the feet to hip distance, slowly bring them down, move into the middle of the bum, and then plant the hands just behind the hips, and up we go. Bum comes up, and reach up through the belly button as you push into the 4 points, reverse tabletop. Gazing back, opening the heart. And 1 more breath there. And then we bring the bum so far back that you can see your thumbs. And what this does is it moves us to the front of the bum. So the majority of the bum is behind you, which gives a pelvic tilt, essential to going deeper into the forward fold. Here we go. Inhale, reach. Exhale, reach the sit bones back. Reach past the toes. And fold, fold, fold for 2 more breaths. So we're taking an extra few breaths here. We've just geared the practice down, getting into some more stretch poses, as sometimes they're called. And the body's warm now from all of our standing sequence, the legs especially. So now we should, theoretically, be able to go the deepest. Again, and we're not quite done yet. We're going to do one more. So option for reverse plank, which I'll demo, or the modification is just another reverse tabletop. So hands in that same spot, just behind the bum, fingers forward or slightly outwards, whatever you prefer. And then we push to the plank. And if that's not what we want today, we are the tabletop, which is the knees over the heels. 2 more breaths. Add fancy moves if you have them. And then again, land the bum so far back you can see the thumbs. And if you're unsure, pull it out so you would be not sitting on your tail. Let's do bottoms of the feet together. You can be medium far like I am, or a little further out, or tighter in. Lengthen through particularly the lower spine, and then fold. And ideally, each of the next 5 breaths is a slight exaggeration of that, taking you deeper. Melting, melting, melting. Steeping in your truth. This is a time in our history where having a good understanding of your truth, that is why you're here and what's important to you, what core values you stand on, is extra important. One more breath. Soften the pose, soften the fold, help the knees up. And we're going to come again back onto the back of the bum. Take the knees about hip distance. Watch out for blocks and cats and coffee tables and other things. And we're just softening out the hips, which are held very tight, the hip flexors, in those kind of poses. Okay, let's crab walk to the top of our mat. We want to be way top of the mat. Lots of room behind you because we're coming onto the back body. And there's lots of ways to do it. You can be serious about it and ground the feet and slowly roll down. Or you can just flop down, kind of fun. Or anywhere in between. Melt all the ribs into the mat. Sacrum as well. So make sure you're grounded in that back body. Then draw the knees in for a hug. Good. Thinking back to that love that we had as the foundation for the truth, that was intertwined with the truth. See if you can just bring that into the body and let it steep into your legs, into your arms, through your shoulders and back, and just sit with that for a breath. Good, let's take the legs up. If you want to stop the video now and do a little core sequence, because you're building some core, some summer six-pack, whatever, stop and do that, and meet us here after a minute or 5 of that for a dead fly pose. We're not going to do any specific core sequence here just in the interest of time, but we are going to do dead fly pose. Shaking it off. So we start by shaking and wiggling, I suppose like a dead fly might look. But here we get strategic. Heavy in the bones, heavy in the limbs. As they soften, they get heavier. And the idea is that by the time they reach the ground, you're just soft. If you need another windshield wiper, take one to soften off the last of the hip flexors. And we're going to do just one back bend. So let's take a couple extra breaths up there. We'll call it one long back bend. I'm going to demonstrate bridge, which is our starting back bend. If you know wheel or other advanced versions of wheel, of course, since we're only doing one, do those. I'm also going to use a block, because blocks for this pose are extra good friends. Squeezing them just below the knee or any other prop will do, of course. It just kind of puts the legs into that hip distance. Here we go. Shoulders are way down the back. I'm hip distance apart in my feet. I'm pushing into the earth. And I'm resting into the shoulder girdle or the hands if you're in wheel and pushing into those rooted feet, drawing the pelvis up and opening the back bend, which extends all the way from the toes through to the nose. Especially if you're in wheel, let it become the whole front body. Keep pushing. This is a long one. But also knowing where that threshold is. We don't want to be falling onto our head from wheel. We want to slowly, as you're ready, come down. And if you were in wheel, join me for a couple of wrist exercises, which are good for if you didn't do wheel too. Shake them out. One of these. Because that can be hard on the wrist, the wheel. Good. And then if you need a counter pose, let's take one. So there's lots of options for counter poses from our back bend. A hug. Even drawing the head up off the ground for a hug is a good one. Windshield wiper, dead fly pose, happy baby. These are all other options. Whatever your body needs, especially if you had a nice big deep back bend or you haven't back bent for a while, what movement do you need to wash that away to get back to where we're ready for shoulder stand? I'm going to demo the most common modification for shoulder stand. It also allows me to continue to talk, which is more difficult in the full version. If you know the full version, I'll guide you through the 3 poses. So first, come up into erect shoulder stand. The modification, which I'm demoing here, is the block under the hips. Or you can take the block out and be right on the ground. And if that's still too much, the wall will work as well. So I'm finding nice stacked legs. For those of you in the full erect shoulder stand, invite the feet towards the floor over your head. Find your balance and move your hands as you need. And that's really important in this pose. Your hands can support you. However, a common thing with the modification is to put the hands up like this. And then they just get soft. Finding Balasana, if you're doing the full version, that is the knees bending and coming by the airs. For those of us doing the modification at home, this is where you should be able to kind of almost like half fall asleep, and it's almost like odd, like your limbs are just reaching up on their own, kind of. For those of you in Balasana, melt into it for a few more breaths. Let it be the softest breaths. And then meet us in a couple breaths from now with the sacrum on the floor. So since I got a block, I'm going to bring my feet down and my hands to get a nice firm. I bring my bum up just an inch, remove the block, and join me here with the bum on the ground, all the ribs rooting into the ground. Now that's a big upper chest crushing pose, especially if you're doing the full version. So fish pose or a baby bridge pose, or flip around for a cobra or camel to find your counterbalance. I'm just going to do a mini baby bridge. I'm just bringing my bum up a little bit and moving some expanding in my chest. I didn't do a big shoulder stance. I don't need a huge counter pose. Feel into the body. Ask yourself what you need before we close our time together. We're going to go from here into happy baby. But if you need a twist, if you need a supine twist or some other, any pose, maybe you need to do another standing pose, a quick inversion. The Ashtanga primary has a headstand at the very end, which tends to have people say, that's a great idea for these reasons, or it's not for these reasons. Maybe you want to squeeze in a headstand. Join us in happy baby after 2 more breaths of whatever you're doing. And remember, when you get to happy baby, all the rules are out the window. Doesn't matter about alignment. Doesn't matter if you go side to side or if you grab the ankle or the big toe or from the inside or the outside. There's no wrong way to do happy baby. I suppose the only wrong way to do it would be to be unhappy. Do something that makes you unhappy. That's the wrong way. So besides that, anything goes. And small children do this pose generally because it feels good for their growing spine. It's also kind of fun. And if you bring your bum off the floor, it can be like a mini inversion, which tends to be fun. It's also, and this is why I do it, it's the way to move the body to get rid of the last movement, the last stagnant energy. Notice when children finish happy baby, what they do next. They get up in a very balanced state and move on with their day. We're going into Shavasana next. We don't want energy still held in the body, so shake it off, kick it off, grab it off, dance it away, and then as you're ready, end the asana practice. That is to say, end the movement as we settle into Shavasana, which is a stillness-based pose. Find your Shavasana. There's lots of versions. The most common is on the back, shoulders way down the back. That's important. You want that upper chest to be expanded. There's very few exceptions to that rule. Here is not one. How wide the arms and legs are, you'll have a natural feels good in your body width, which can be different from day to day. Who cares? Find what feels good. Soften the eyes to closed. Soften the breath back to that nice nose breath that you've likely had as a metronome for your practice. Just melt, be soft. Some of my teachers have said it's not a real Shavasana unless it's 3 full minutes or longer. So I'm inviting that to you. Stay for 3 minutes. I'm going to leave you here. This is where our time ends, but this is not where your Shavasana ends. Inviting you to melt deeper into it for the next minute as I close up, and then stay another 2, 3, or even 4 or 5 minutes, whatever you need. When it is time to go, move through the side body. Don't just jump up into your day, and take a little meditation time for yourself at the end if you need. If you want to connect back to your truth, you can do that. Melting a little deeper into your Shavasana. Softening all the things, even the ones that are already soft. I'm leaving you here, thanking you for spending some time with me, sharing your practice with me. Hoping to see you back in the Alchemy studio sometime soon. The light in me is one and has acknowledged the divinity in you. Namaste. Leaving you there.